Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my project today holds the Andes candies, but it will hold other things too. The box measures 2 3/4 by 2 1/4 by 7/8, which is how these fit in there nicely, 7/8 inch. And it flips up like this, and the Andes candies are inside. Alrighty. I made a little bit of a 3D embellishment for the top. It's not too hard. A lot of cutting with the gingerbread and peppermint. No, gingerbread and peppermint's DSP, the gingerbread dies, and for the inside I used the frosted gingerbread stamp set for the sentiment. Alrighty, so let me show you what we need here. First of all, Merry Christmas week to everyone. Okay, so we need a piece of old Olive Cardstock that is 7 1/4 by 6 3/4. We need 3 pieces of the gingerbread and peppermint DSP that measure 2 by 2 1/2. 2 for the one for the front, 1 for the back, and then 1 for the inside here in a different pattern. And 2 that are 2 by 5/8 for the sides, and 2 that are 2 1/2 by 5/8 for the sides, sorry, and 2 by 5/8 for the top and the bottom. Alrighty, and all this will be on my blog, which is linked below. Alright, and then we need some basic white for stamping. We need a real red scallop from the layering circle dies that is about 1 3/4, and we'll be cutting the sentiment out after we stamp it with the smaller circle. Probably the one that's, what did I say? Probably this one's 1 3/4, so I bet you the circle will be about 1 5/8. Okay, and then we need 4 of the ornaments, 2 that are green and 2 that are red. And you could do any colors. You can stamp them with the frosted gingerbread stamp set if you want to do it yourself. But what I did was I just put the die over whatever colors I wanted, and I ran it through. And that's it. That was pretty easy for that. Alright, so now we have all these things here. Let's start with our cardstock. And again, it is 7 1/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, we're going to start on the 7 1/4 side, and we're going to score at 7/8, 3 5/8, and 4 1/2. Okay, then we're going to turn it to the 6 3/4 side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 2 3/4, 3 5/8, and 5 7/8. Okay, and while we have the scoreboard out, we need our 4 ornaments, okay? And we're going to put them in there right side up, and we're going to score right down the middle, which is at 7/8 about. It depends too on if you did it straight in your die. If you got it straight, just kind of guesstimate what the middle is, or you could do it by hand if you want, but mine came out I think I got them perfectly straight. It came out at about 7/8. Okay. Oops, I was supposed to flip them this way and score them, but that's alright. And then I'm just going to fold them gently. Okay, and we'll put these to the side for now, and I'm going to just fold and burnish my cardstock. Okay, now we want it so that we have the skinniest rectangle, on the right hand side, and there is a 7/8 inch strip on the bottom. Alright, and this is what we're going to do. Oops. Okay, so we have to get rid of a lot. This and this this whole piece and all of this. This square, this rectangle here are 4 rectangles, and these 2 extra rectangles, and 1 down here. All right, some people I know like to take a screenshot of this so they know what they have to cut off. All right, but I will put a screenshot of the paper, the cardstock, after it's cut. All right, remember, skinny rectangle is on the right-hand side. We have a square down here at the bottom left. We're going to go to the first score line and cut it up to the first score line. And then wedge each side of the square. Just a little bit on each side. Okay. Move to the other side of this rectangle and cut it straight up to the first score line. Other side of this square. Cut it straight and then wedge each side of the square. Okay. Go to the other side of this rectangle, and we're going to get rid of this little rectangle and then just wedge up a little bit into the pieces above it. Okay, now we're going to turn it 180, and this is what it's going to look like now. All right, we're going to get rid of a bunch of stuff. All right, so what we'll do first is we're going to go, there's 1 rectangle here and a big rectangle here, and then we're going to cut, it's the second score line over, and we're going to cut it to the second score line up. Okay, and then we're going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. So just cut this straight. Okay, so that's what I did. I cut this all the way up to the second score line. I went over 1, 2 score lines and cut it up to the second score line. All right, now we're going to go over 1 score line and cut this to the second score line. Okay, now we want to take off this top piece, the top rectangle there, and we're left with the square here. And then just wedge a little bit off of each side of the square. Okay, that's that. Okay, now this is our front flap that comes over. So we're going to skip this section and go to this last score line here. And we're going to cut this up to the second score line. Okay, we're going to get rid of this piece above it. This piece we cut right off above the square. Never get that straight there. And then we're going to wedge both sides of the square that we left behind. All right, and that's it. And I just realized I did not burnish this last bit, this piece right here. Well, let me get that done. Okay. All right, now we need to round the corners of our flap along this piece. So we're gonna round, I'm getting the detail trio punch, but whatever corner rounder you use. All right, and this is what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring it and cutting it. Okay, now we're going to take our tear and tape and what's left of the skinny rectangle, we're going to put it right up next to the score line. And I'm going to take the backing off. I might take your pick tool, flip it over, flip the side with the tape over, and then the other side to meet it. Okay, this time I accidentally made the seam at the front, but it's all right. It's not going to show too much. All right, so we're going to put the sides and this back here, and then this is where we want to put our tear and tape right up close to the edge. Take the backing off and then tape it down. Now it's rare that I make it with the seam in the front, but this time it worked out that way because of the way I cut it. Sorry about that. Okay, now let's put our DSP on. All right, so on the inside flap, I'm going to put this piece, the dark red the real red one in the inside. And all 3 of these pieces are 2 by 2.5. I'm going to put this one inside. And then these 2, one of them on the back. And then we need to round the both sides of one of the short ends for the front flap. And that's going to go right there. Okay. Now the 2 long sides are 5/8 by 2.5. And then the top and the bottom are shorter, and they're 5/8 by 2. Okay. Alright, and now while we're gluing, I'm just going to bring my silicone mat out. We're going to get our ornaments, and what I want to do is I want to start with the reds, and we're just going to attach the 2 that are in the middle, put them side by side, and then the 2 that are in the middle we're going to attach to each other. Just put the glue on one side, and then we're just going to attach them. Just match up where the die cut them. Okay, now that's 1. Okay, and then we're going to put a green one on each side. Okay, one on this side of one of the reds and one on the other side of one of the reds, just like that. So on the green, we're only going to do the one that's on the right. Okay. Okay, so there's one green that's attached to this side of the red. Now we're going to attach a green one onto this side. And it's the inside one. Okay, when you open it, it's going to be the one that's going to go next to it naturally. Kind of like a honeycomb. And it will all kind of sandwich together like this. And you'll see, if you did it right, you'll only see the back side of the paper right now when you squeeze them all together. And then just make sure they're not glued together, that they separate. And you should have a red one in the middle, 2 red ones, and then 2 green ones. All right, and let's let that dry a minute. Okay, now we're going to take our piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to get real red ink. And I'm going to get the sentiment from Peppermint and Gingerbread stamp set that says, "Wishing you a Merry Christmas." I'm just going to pop that right in the middle. And then I'm going to use my layering circle die. And this one here, I'll have to go get, this one's 1 3/4. So the one that's about 1 3/4? Yeah, 1 3/4. So the one that's about 1 3/8, the smooth circle, will cut this out. Okay, I attached it. I should have waited for you guys, but I didn't. I cut it out, and this one is definitely, let me tell you, yeah, 1 5/8 inch. I cut it out with a 1 5/8 smooth circle, and then I attached it to the real red scallop circle. And we're going to put that right in here, down a little bit, because we want to put a Velcro dot right there. Now you can put whatever you want in here. You don't have to do Andy's candies. You can do anything, a gift or other kind of candies. It's almost an inch wide. It's 7/8 inch wide, so a lot of stuff will fit in there. Okay, while that's drying, I'm going to get my 3/8 inch adhesive Velcro dots, and I'm going to put one side on the top, close to the edge, right in the middle, and press that on good. And then I'm going to take the matching one and put it with the adhesive towards me on top of the first dot. All right, and then just make sure that you close it nice and evenly. Just gently push on it and pull it up gently, and then you can reinforce both of them well. Okay, and these I got on Amazon. Okay, now we're going to take our embellishment that we made, and we're going to put glue on just the backs of it. Oops. So it should be the paper that is the opposite side, not the side we're showing. All right, and I'm just going to pop this right in the middle. Center it from side to side and top to bottom. Oops, which I'm not doing. There we go. And then just press down on the green one. And you can give the middle of the red one a little push, but there you go. See that? Isn't that cool? I like that. All right, and then let's put our candies in. And what I did was I started with 3 standing up on one side. And then I put them laying down. About 12 will fit in, maybe more. Let's see. That's 12. I ate a couple. 13. Yeah, about 14 of them will fit in there nicely. All right, and then we just need, for the final touch, I'm going to take some of the Real Red sheer ribbon. This is retiring. The dies in the stamp set are retiring, and the paper. So all of this is our while supplies last. But you can make this box with something else. You don't have to have this stamp set. You can do it for a different holiday, or this holiday with a different embellishment on it. Okay, and then I'm just going to clip off the ends, and that's it. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you would like to purchase any of these products or any Stampin' Up! Products, my address is linked below. It's also on the top of the screen there. And of course, my blog is linked below that has all the measurements, and also my contact information. And if you would like to join my team, there's a link there for that too. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And please subscribe and hit the like button if you like my project today. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.